everyone, I'm just getting everything set up. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I don't have everything laid out like I normally do. I've been filming, so. Hi Nicole, how are you doing? Alright, so my plan is I have month 6 for Cotton Cuts Wild West. I did the clue for the tutorial, but I never finished there's 2 of each section. I never finished the other section, so I'm trying to get them all caught up. Hi Arnetta, how are you? So this is what our block 6A looks like. And I'm streaming on TikTok too, so that's why if it looks like a different angle. And then this is our 6B block. Oh, I know, it's been so nice here in New York. It finally feels like spring. Yesterday when I left for work, I left with my jacket and hat and everything, and by the time I was coming home I was sweating. I need to start wearing less layers. Alright, and I'm just laying out on the clues here. It tells you which pieces are in the pack, and I always lay everything out just so I'm trying to make sure I'm grabbing the correct fabrics. I'm going to definitely try to be extra mindful tonight. Sometimes when I'm talking, following instructions doesn't always go so well. Oh, hi girls, hi Addison, hi Willow, hi Winter. I didn't forget. Last week when I was working on the sweater, I didn't realize that my nieces said hi, and so when I got off, they said, Auntie, you didn't say hi to us. Hi Gail, how you doing? So month 8 of this Wild West actually comes out on Friday, and the new puzzle mystery quill Flyway came out the beginning of this month. Some some boxes are still shipping. They had weather delays and sickness, so they're getting everything out. So I'm waiting for my Phoenix colorway for Flyway. But this is the Wild West that's finishing up in April. You see, I'm just literally triple checking how I am laying everything out. And this one's cool because depending on the blocks, not every month do they use all the different fabrics, and this month uses all of them. So pretty excited about that. Hi Holly, how's it going? Alright, so we'll start with the first section, which was the larger block. And Cotton Cuts, I love it. Everything's cut for you. I know if you've been watching me a few times, you've heard me say it. It's literally just ready to go. Tells you which way to press everything. And here tells you how many, it says ×4, ×2, how many of each section you need. Well, because I've already divided, or already sewn up one block A and one block B, I am going to divide those numbers by 2. And hopefully I don't accidentally reverse them. What's nice is that when I'm doing the catch-up, for here, I've used the last 2 PCs, so that usually also clues me in if I'm doing the right thing. Oh, Holly, you've been busy. Have you had nice weather for moving at least? I can't wait to see how you set up your craft room. You'll have to post pictures when it's all finished. if you don't have already, I really recommend you can kind of see it on the bottom here, uh, the pegboards from IKEA. I have a couple. I have one right here near the sewing machine with all the thread, and then I have one on the other side of the room that holds like different scissors and crafting stuff. Oh no, I hope you feel better soon. There's so much stuff going around and people being sick. Like, I was sick for like a week. It was awful. Oh, the blocks that, yeah, so all of these pieces are die cut. So the endings are kind of cut off. And I don't trim anything. It does say like the measurements that the blocks should finish at, and I never trim down my blocks. As long as I have the same seam allowance, as long as that's consistent, my quilts have always come together very nicely. So I'm testing two different actually testing and filming tutorials for two different bag patterns right now. So I know I've done a lot of quilting on my Tuesday night lives, but part of it is because I've spent earlier today filming bags. So what does the whole block look like? Hold on, I'll show you 1 second. Oh, thanks, Arnetta. Yeah, I had so much fun making the Lauren bag, and I had never made one. I definitely am gonna make more. Marathon days are so fun. It's really nice chatting with everybody. I think it was Lucy that said she didn't realize that when videos premiere, there's like a live chat. So if you ever see like premieres, definitely like check it out, because usually it's similar to a live where at least the chat is active. Hi Liz, how are you? All right, so Holly, this is the first block, or if you're just catching up right now or jumping on right now, this is the first block I'm doing tonight. It's kind of a big block. I'm trying not to like burn myself on the iron. And the second one is this strip of flying geese. And it's a puzzle mystery quilt, so you can see they call it like a clue instead of, a block of the month. So it just tells me how to put the different sections together, and you don't know what the quilt will look like until the final month, until month 10. So this quilt actually reveals at the end of April. Nicole, I'm glad that you like mix things up. I know people have different preferences of like what they like to watch, but I feel like even for myself, I like sewing different things and changing it up. And for my tutorials, like my pre-recorded tutorials, I like to be really like explicit in my teaching and give in-depth instructions. Where the lives, I feel like it's more about chatting with everybody and just kind of telling you what's going on or what I'm working on. Yeah, I really like the big blocks as well. Last puzzle mystery quilt for Tree of Life was my first time doing a large, and I felt like each month there was a lot of each section. There was like 6 blocks or 8 blocks, where Wild West I feel like there are less blocks, but they're much bigger. So I'm really excited to see the difference with how they come together. So Holly, it's the pattern. It's just like a block of the month, and it's the fabric. So you can pay all up front and get the box with each of the months sent to you, and then each month they'll email you, or you go into like what they call the evidence locker, and get the clue. Or month to month, and they'll mail them out to you. So it includes the fabric. So it comes in a bag like this, and it includes all the fabric that you see me using, and then I print out the instructions, and they send you this color card. So this one's called Josie, and it tells you like fabric A, B, C, D, because they have multiple colorways, and so all the instructions for the large are the same, and all the instructions for the small. And the small is different from the large. And so you can see on the instructions, it will say like, sew D to C and A to B. And that's because everybody's using different colors fabrics. And that's why I always try to refer to my color card, because I never really remember the order. Especially some colorways have very similar colors. Oh, Liz, I have to catch up. I got home really late from Connecticut, so I didn't catch anything yesterday. Hi, Mary Lou. Hi, Terry. How are you, ladies? Oh, Mary Lou, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah, Terry, this is Wild West. I sewed with Sean live. At the beginning of the month, we hadn't received our boxes yet for Flyway. So I had worked on my month 7, but I still had 6 that I need to finish up. And for Flyway, I'm sewing a large Phoenix, and that I believe is still it's still being cut or shipped. I haven't received it yet, so I'm still waiting to receive it. So I'm so excited. But I know the first clue released the beginning of this month, and most of the colorways are already out. Mary Lou, I was thinking of you because I applied to teach at Socations in Las Vegas with Amanda, or for Amanda from So Bestie. Oh yeah, Holly. I have a couple quilts that I just bought, like a ghost one, and I have most of the fat quarters, and I just have to actually start cutting it. And I have another surprise project that I have about 3/4 done. But this for the cotton cuts was like great. This is actually how I learned to quilt, was through cotton cuts. Prior to that, I had never quilted anything before. And now I've kind of, fell down the rabbit hole of that as well. Oh, Terry, that one is gorgeous. That was in my top 3. So as a Cotton Cuts ambassador, we can send our top 3 to them. And my first choice was Phoenix, and my second was Flamingo. I cannot wait to see that one come together. Oh no, Liz, I'll have to go back and check. But that's okay. That's how we learn from our mistakes. Like I don't know if you saw that my last live from last Tuesday, I totally sewed the cuff on with my serger wrong, and instead of picking it, I just literally like cut it off. Yeah, so don't feel bad. Oh, Mary Lou, I would love that. You are definitely welcome to be a helper in my class. Or if you want to take it, I applied to teach 3 different ones, so I'll see if they get approved or how many. So I'm really looking forward to it. And if anyone else is wondering what I'm talking about, the group So Bestie, which is owned by Amanda, she runs Socations, which is like a sewing expo. And last year she did one in Las Vegas, and she did one in Florida. So her Las Vegas one is over the summer, which works out great since I'm a teacher and I'll be on vacation. So I'm really, really excited about it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it work, so. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know, Mary Lou. Terry, yeah, the colors of the Phoenix colorway are beautiful. I love bright colors. Also for step 2, it said because I wasn't thinking about that, I already sewed one of these. I didn't divide it. So my dad jinxed me. Also, if Dad is listening, Dad, I think my dad's on today, is his birthday. So happy birthday, Dad. But he's like, make sure you pay attention. But I'm already going to have to rip one of these apart, I believe, because I already sewed them together. Hi, Michelle. How are you tonight? I guess I'll wait till rip this until I actually need to use it. Yeah, this weekend was very busy. There's so many February birthdays in my family and important people. So, oh yeah, so James is my dad. Yep, see, Dad, you jinxed me. So we went home to Connecticut and celebrated my dad's birthday, my boyfriend's birthday, and my best friend's 40th birthday. So it was a very busy but wonderful weekend spent with family and friends. And my best friend, like, we've known each other since grade school, like over 30 years, so. Usually when they're bigger pieces, I try to clip them together, but I didn't on this one. I just made sure it was aligned. Yeah, Holly, everything is pre-cut. It's great. The puzzle mystery quilts are great if you don't have a lot of time or you don't like cutting, because all that prep work is done for you. You literally just get to open up the package and get right to sewing, which is what I think is the fun part. And there's a crease because of the package. I'm going to see if I can press it out a little bit, but not worried about it too much. That will come out later on eventually. Yeah, okay, so I am going to have to pick it. I do need to sew these two together, but this square needs to be on the top. So I wasn't, like, completely wrong with it. Just not paying too close of attention. Hi, Brenda. Oh, I'm so glad. Are you working on a specific pattern, or what type of quilting are you doing? Yeah, I appreciate all of you guys joining in Tuesday nights with me. And I noticed on the marathon this weekend, I had a lot more viewers. So I really appreciate all of you, whether you've been tuning in for a while or you're new here. It's helping my channel really grow. And I definitely appreciate it. And plus, I love it. Gives me a chance to chat with everybody. Oh my gosh, Dad, you're so funny. My dad is like the biggest joker you'll ever meet. If I don't think anybody that's on went to Sew Magical Expo, but when Sew Magical Expo was going on, my parents came and helped me out in Tennessee, and so my dad and mom were on like zipper tape duty and were like cutting it out and helping run the booth. So they might be coming to Vegas, hopefully. So if you're going to Vegas, you might be able to meet them there. Oh, Terry, that is awesome. I can't wait to see it. Quilt math is really hard. Like when I'm designing bags, I use Illustrator and it's not so bad, but like quilt math really throws me off because there's just so many seam allowances to take into account. Yeah, the measuring and cutting is not my favorite thing either. I try to do cut multiple projects at once, so that way I don't have to constantly like be going back and forth to it. Yeah, my dad watches every Tuesday. Sometimes he says hello, sometimes he doesn't. And my dad's also goes to bed early and is up super early. I'm completely opposite. I'm the night person. So sometimes he watches the whole thing, sometimes not. But he's always on, at least in the beginning. Oh, Liz, I know. I'm so excited to meet you too. I was thinking of you the other day. I'll have to show you. I bought some of those folders that you were talking about at the dollar store. So I've been storing my pattern pieces, and when I cut it, been putting the cut pieces in, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a great idea. So Liz mentioned this on her channel the other night. She just got these. They zip close. This one has pieces that are a little bit too big, but I just thought it was such a great idea, and I bought a whole bunch. Oh, the itty bitty bug pattern, cute, and the seesaws. I have just seen everybody posting their zip around wallets from More Munoz Studio, because I think it was this past weekend they just did the class, and they all look so good. But I'm still intimidated by that pattern. I don't know how my machine would do with it. Yeah, I'm really lucky. Both my parents are super supportive of literally pretty much everything I've ever did or wanted to do. I really lucked out in the parent department. So, yeah, Mary Lou. Mary Lou, my mom will like you because Mary Lou likes to clean. So we were joking that Mary Lou reminded me a lot of how my mom is. You guys will get along great. It was funny when we were in Tennessee vending, my mom constantly was like organizing the booth, and I was like, Mom, move out of the way so people can come in. Arnetta, so if I had to get a new sewing machine, what would you get? So that's tough. I think my dream machine that I would love to have, I would love an industrial cylinder arm for bags. I think eventually I would love to be able to sew leather with no problem. Um, but honestly, like right now, I'm really happy with this machine. My aunt is so funny. She's like, "You're still using it, and it still works." And it doesn't have all the fancy bells and whistles, like the start and the stop and the automatic thread cutter. But I honestly have never sewn on a machine like that, so I guess I just don't really know what I'm missing. But I love that I can take it apart and oil it and like kind of do everything myself, and I don't have to worry about it being computerized. I think that if I were to get another machine, I know when they say get an embroidery machine, get the largest hoop that you can, but I think I would love like a machine that I could do embroidery and sewing on. Yeah, but anybody else in the chat too, if you have suggestions for Arnetta, or if you had like your new sewing machine, feel free to respond to her as well. Yeah, Terry, you only sew on vintage. Yeah, this one has all the metal gears, but actually I haven't posted a picture yet. For my friend's birthday, I sewed in Eileen Pool Tote, which is my own pattern, and I sewed it completely at home in Connecticut on my mom's machine, which is just like literally a basic brother, like, $100 machine. And when I was first learning to sew, I sewed on that for a really long time until my aunt found out that I was sewing and gave me this one. And I made so many bags on it. Like it doesn't sew what's it called? Vinyl very well, but I made a whole bunch of cork bags and waterproof canvas, all sorts of stuff like that on it. Oh, that's so cool, Terry. I would love to be able to do stuff like that. I love building and like using my hands. So to learn how to fix machines would be really cool. I forgot what sewing group it was in. Someone shared a video earlier today that was talking about oh my gosh, sewing machine repairs and being able to work on them. Oh, do you, Terry? I'm gonna have to check it out. Yeah, 40 years in a garage. Yeah, I guess probably like not being in climate controlled. I know my aunt hadn't sewed on this one in years. And I just took it and oiled it and it was ready to go. But it was in her house, so that's definitely different. Oh wow, 1919. My meme, which is what we call my great grandma, she sewed on an old Singer. I don't know. I almost wanted to say it had a treadle on it, to be honest. I don't know, but I don't know whatever happened to it. Whenever I think about sewing, I always think about her and her old Singer machine. Yeah, I always tell people one thing that I really believe is that you can sew a lot of things on a variety of machines. It's so important to learn your machine and what materials it likes. Maybe, for example, I used to get so frustrated sewing on a waterproof canvas, the PVC kind, on the backing, because it would stick, and my stitches, even if I had the largest stitch length, it would still look like, like a one, or like super small. And then I just from playing around, I learned that using a Teflon foot when I sew waterproof canvas was like a game changer for me. So now that's all I use when I sew waterproof canvas. But if you don't really experiment or try different things, you might not know. And I would have thought, had I not tried that, I would have thought like, oh, this brother machine can't sew it. So like different feet, different needles, even thread can make so much difference with what you're working on. Oh, you got the Thor, Gail? Yeah, I'm hoping. So I'm going out to Sew Whatever Studio for Sew Whatever Summit. I'm teaching out there. I've never sewn on an industrial, so I don't really know what I'm missing. But I want to hopefully get to be able to test one and see. Because I know the Thor from Sunny Sewing is such a good deal. Oh, it has a knee lift. I heard those are really great though, Nicole. Like especially you know, to be able to use both hands. But I can definitely see where like you have to remember it's there. It was funny because this to lift the foot is on the back, and my mom's machine was on the right hand side. So all weekend when I was trying to sew, I was like lifting in the wrong spot. Oh, Arnetta, that's so cool. Yeah, I've heard featherweight scale are really, really good for bag making. I see them recommended a lot. And I think it's a Singer 201. I also see recommended a lot for one of the vintage. Mary Lou, what do you think of your cylinder arm? I remember you saying that out at Mojo Sews you had ordered it. Have you got a chance to really play around with it? Because I've also seen that brand, and I think that's a really good deal on a cylinder arm too. Oh, wait. So the knee lift is the foot pedal. Oh my gosh, Nicole. Wow. I would probably be so confused. I can see where you really need to pay attention. All right, so now I need to join this. This becomes this huge block. Oh no, just kidding. Good thing I double checked. I mean, I guess it still is a large block, but I need to join the shorter piece here to this one. Yeah, the 201 is so nice. Terry, do you like the Grace frame? I've seen people, you know, like use them a lot. And that seems really good, especially if you don't have, you know, like a bunch of space for a large, long arm. It's funny because when I see, like, I know Husqvarna makes like sewing machines, but growing up, my dad was like a logger for a while. So anytime I see Husqvarna, I just always think of chainsaws. Oh, Mary Lou, so the foot pedals, the knee lift as well. That's so interesting. I didn't even know that that was an option on machines, but that's cool. Right, exactly, Nicole. That's all I think of. I'm like, it always makes me giggle whenever I like see the name Husqvarna. Alright, so I'm on the last step of this big block, and I need to put this piece here on the left-hand side, and then this large piece with the square on top on the right. And the only seam that actually matches up is this bottom one. So I'm gonna put them right sides together and then turn it so I can see it and try to clip it. Oh wow, Terry, you built it yourself. That's so cool. Where do you just find like the machines on like Facebook Marketplace or like like around? Like where do you find them all to fix up? Yes, Terry, 1591 is the other one. I couldn't think. I knew there was another one with numbers that I saw recommended a lot. It's funny though because I find that whenever I see like the 201s on Marketplace now, they're kind of expensive, or at least like where I'm looking, and it makes me wonder if more and more bag makers are using them. Oh, Goodwill, nice. And painted them. Do you have to use like a specific paint, or just like one that's like metal safe? I'm wondering. Yeah, where I grew up is like an old mill town, so I always look on like Marketplace and stuff. But a lot of the machines, you don't really find too many. A lot of them stay in the family. That's so funny. So is bricks. It's funny how strong these machines are. Um, if I popped up this little like the needle plate here, one time I didn't realize that I bent my needle, um, putting too many layers through it, and the needle actually punched through the needle plate, and it created like a little indent, but it hasn't been a problem. It doesn't catch or like break my thread or anything. So I've never switched out the needle plate. But I'm like, oh well, good to know I can sew through metal. All right, so that finishes that first block, and I'm super excited that this is where the seam was that I matched up, and it matched up perfectly. So usually I mark these with like a sticky note and put like 6A, 6B, so knowing that's how they tell you at the end how to put them together, like so month 6A to month 2B. So I definitely I usually label them. I don't have sticky notes near me right now, so I'm just gonna fold it. And then how I keep track of them all is I just put them back into the bag. So like this says clue the bottom. They always have stickers that tell you what month it is. So I know that this is clue 6. And so now I have the second part, which is all flying geese, which is going to look like this. So I already did one for the tutorial, and now I'll do the other one here. Okay, you have 8 featherweights, one from each decade. Oh, that is so cool, Gail. Over the weekend, my friend, for her birthday, her mother-in-law sews, and she has a whole collection of vintage machines. And when they were getting rid of her couch, or my best friend's couch, it was made out of leather. So her mother-in-law went over and took all the usable leather and made her this really beautiful tote bag for a gift out of it. It was so cool. We're like, this is our couch. We sat on this. Okay. And this is where I need to pay extra special attention, because I feel like these 3 different fabrics are very similar colors. So it's so easy to get them confused. I think that's like one of the coolest thing about the Singer machines is that you can look up all the information with the serial numbers. I just wanted to eat the corner. Sometimes I forget to put the needle down first, and sucks it through. Sarah, you have like your own little like sewing museum. Yeah, and I asked her, like, it was, you know, thicker leather because it was on a couch, so obviously would get wear and tear. And she said she sewed it on just like a regular domestic Juki that was a combination embroidery machine. I was super impressed. Also, here's my second mistake tonight. I sewed the F piece to an E piece instead of a B. Hi, Lucy. Oh, Saya had scrap pack drops. That's awesome. Were you able to snag one? Scrap packs are so cool too because then you get to just like try a whole bunch of different materials. I'm working on my Cotton Cuts month 6. So month 8 releases Friday for Wild West, but I had never sewed up my remaining pieces for month 6. So I'm doing a Cotton Cuts catch up. There's an ambassador named Beth. Her like Instagram handles Goody Goods, and whenever she has to sew like the remaining months and it's like not on time, she calls them Cotton Cuts catch ups, and I'm like, oh, that's so perfect for it. Yeah, that's true, Gail, that they show the time and the wear. I'm sure they probably still look nice too, considering depending on the year they're from. I'm just trying to pick this out without ruining the fabric. Of course, it was on a piece that I remembered to actually backstitch. Alright, so here we go. This color is my fabric B. So we'll try that again. Holly, you're folding laundry. Well, at least, you know, something to listen to while you're doing it, right? It's a meth inside. Oh, okay, it was a Patreon thing. Nice, Lucy, I'm glad you were able to grab it. He is a woman. Oh, that's really cool. I think with sewing machine, like repair and stuff, learning it hands-on would be like a preference. I mean, obviously you can't do that everywhere because it's like a dying art, really. But that's so cool if you have like a local place that you can take advantage of. Hi, Nikki. How's it going? So this one actually makes a flying goose by using two different colors on the bottom. So I finally got the right colors that I need. So I'm really excited. I didn't ask if I could like show the bag that I'm testing or filming, so I'm not going to do that yet. But I'll tell you, I'm super excited because one is a duffel bag pattern, and I'm using our newest base Majestic nylon on it, and I'm using the sunflower one, and I'm so excited with how it's looking so far. And then the other bag I have cut out, it's like a sling bag, but really geared towards traveling with like a whole bunch of pockets and like built-in wallet and such. So both like super useful bags, and I'm really happy with how they're coming out. So I can't believe this is already the last weekend last week in February, because technically the weekend is March. But both of those videos should release sometime in March as soon as the actual testing is over. Alright, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew out, I need to make 3 flying geese, so I'm going to put out the pieces, I guess, and lay them out exactly to make sure that I am doing it correctly. Yeah. I'm like triple checking. I don't know why these prints, I guess because they're like it has the pink on it and stuff, I don't want to say confuse me, but I second guess myself a lot. Night, Dad. Love you. Talk to you tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is sew the right hand side of each flying geese, like chain stitch them, so that way I'm doing it all at once. You get to play catch up this weekend. Nicole, Dad, Nicole said eat lots of cake. Yeah, we celebrated early on Friday. I think my whole family ate tons of cake and ice cream. I never heard of it, but my mom and sister are obsessed with this ice cream called Cow Chow, and it was like vanilla ice cream with chunks of waffle cone and something else in it. I don't know. I didn't have it because I don't like waffle cone, but yeah, the whole family was digging in over the weekend. And at my best friend's party, it was Mardi Gras themed. Her dad also like grew up down south, and so she had, I think it's called a king cake, where it has like the baby inside, and that was delicious. I had never had king cake, and it's like the little plastic baby that they hide inside, and I guess whoever finds it is supposed to like host the party next year. So that was really fun. Right, Nikki? Like, I feel like February flew by, at least for me. But I think part of it is I was off of work last week, but I have to do like an extra 5 days for the year. So I worked one of the days, and then I also filmed and edited tutorials. So it just seemed like a busy week. Everything flew by. Yeah, Liz, see, I never had it, and her husband ordered like an authentic one from New Orleans or from Louisiana, and it was so good. Alright, so I just did all three, so all of them are on the right side, so now I'm just going to repeat it on the left, and it makes it quicker, so much quicker when you're sewing. So when I'm not doing like a tutorial or, you know, just doing it for myself, I try to chain stitch as much as possible so I don't have to keep cutting the thread and whatnot. Oh, Liz, you lived there for 5 years? I've never been to New Orleans. I've been up and down the whole East Coast, because born and raised in Connecticut, and so we vacationed like all over New England, and then going to school in Florida, I used to drive back and forth. I'm in New York now, but I haven't been very many places like in the middle of the country or out west. We went to Las Vegas and Arizona a couple years, well, like, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago now. And I've been to like Wisconsin once. So I'm really excited I love traveling, so I'm really excited to go see Lauren in Southern Illinois. Because I don't really count that I've been to Illinois because I only flew into Chicago to drive up to Wisconsin. But I really want to try to make time to go to St. Louis and see the Arch and visit the national parks. Well, I guess if it's still open, so hopefully it is. But I have one of the national park, they have like these passport books, so when you go visit, you can get like a special stamp and stuff. It's a lot of fun, and my major in college was history, so I love visiting new places and seeing different sites. Thanks, Holly. Yeah, these come together like really, really nicely. Even my first puzzle mystery quilt was, which was literally my first quilt I ever made. Like, I didn't know, for example, like, I didn't know that this type of piece was called a flying geese or anything. Just because of how they cut everything for you, so nothing's misaligned, and the instructions are written so well. And they have different ambassadors that you can follow that do tutorials and stuff. It really, my first quilt came together really nicely, and I think that was like very instrumental to keeping me wanna quilting. Had it turned out atrocious, I probably would have been discouraged, but it worked out really nice. Alright, so now I gotta pay attention because I'm gonna line them up working my way from the bottom. So this piece is the bottom. What did I do? Oh no, is it right? Okay, here we go. I'm like, why can't I see an arrow? But when these are put together, you can see it makes that chevron, like this lighter pink color will make the chevron. Okay. And then the orange, and then the pink on top. So I know I put it together, or will be putting it together, because I have the different chevrons there. And I guess you could work top to bottom or bottom to top. Because the seams are being pressed up, I think it's easier for me to work from the bottom. And tonight I actually put Gutermann thread in. I had been using the Aurifil, and I felt like it was giving me so many problems, especially on the live. So I went back to the Gutermann, and I'm really happy. I think also I'm just so used to sewing with polyester thread that it's probably what I'm more comfortable with too. it's funny because at the end of these month 10, that's when they tell you how to put all the pieces together. But there's so many people that try to guess which way all these pieces are going to combine. And it's so cool to see everybody. Cotton Cuts has a very active Facebook group. So it's a really fun place to be and interact with everybody. But that's one of my favorite things is seeing how people are guessing is going to be put together. Oh my gosh. A Gidget on TikTok is saying that they've done 10 mystery quilts. Yeah, it's really addicting. It's such a good it's such a good community, and also they call it Puzzle Mystery Quilt, but it's like a block of a month. So yeah, and a lot of people will do multiple colorways. I'm always impressed by that, like the people that are doing like 2, 3. Oh, Terry, you were so close. That's awesome. Yeah, I have not sewn enough quilts that I don't even know where to begin. Sometimes Sean from the guy who sews, will send me a picture and he'll be like, I think it goes like this. And I'm like, I'll leave you guys to that. You guys are the experts. All right, so that just finished up section 6B. So I think there was another month that had a couple of these. So I'm wondering if it'll end up being along the side or where these will fall. I don't know. Maybe for this one, we'll see if I try to take a guess. I'll have to, I don't have a quilt wall or anything. I'll have to lay it out on the living room floor if I do. Yeah, and so what I do, especially now that these are long and skinny, they fit perfectly fine back into the bag. And since I have the box and it's prepaid, I stick my instructions in, since it also has the different pictures on the front of the block, so I know which one's A and which one's B. And then I put this all right back into my box, so I don't lose anything. The Bonnie Hunter mystery. I'll have to check that one. Is that like a year? Does she do that constantly, or is that like a one-time thing? Oh, the trim flipped it over. But with Tree of Life, it was tricky. When the final trim came on, there was pieces that didn't line up. So I don't blame you. I think a lot of people, that trim threw them off. All right, so I'm going to end it here tonight. Hey, this was exactly an hour, so that worked out really, really well. Thank you so much to everybody joining in, whether you are on YouTube or TikTok. I really look forward to Tuesday nights. I say this every time, but I just can never tell you how grateful I am for all of you and how much it brings me so much joy, and really look forward to Tuesday nights chatting with everybody. She does it every year in November. I'll have to check it out, Gail, because I really like the whole mystery idea, but I like surprises, so. All right, well, I hope you guys all have a great night. Stay warm. If you're in the Northeast, hopefully we're getting some warmer weather this week. And I will see you on social media, or hopefully next week, next Tuesday night at 8. So have a good night. Bye, everyone.